Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. Hope you enjoy. What you need is not motivation, it's a routine and habits. First, sorry for the mistakes. English is not my first language. I just want to preface this text by, this is my experience in the last 40 years of my life. I don't claim to have the truth, only my own truth and experience. It might not be applicable to you and it's completely okay. You might think I am full of it. You might be right, that I have no idea what it is to be in your skin. I don't, but I try my best to be a supporting person. I've been around a few orbits now, had 10 pregnancies and 6 live births, been a single mom and in a couple, been healthy and unhealthy, happy and not so happy, obese and skinny. One thing I learned is that motivation never lasts. Motivation is the essential ingredient to start losing weight, but it has nothing to do with successful weight loss and maintenance. So you want to lose weight, you change everything you eat, you spend hours in the gym, you are motivated. Then after a few weeks, you're miserable, hungry, angry, and exhausted. Almost nobody that miserable is motivated, except maybe those doing bodybuilding, but even them, they will tell you that they are insane. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. What if instead you change one thing this week? Just one doable thing. Like, I want to walk 5,000 steps a day, 3 days of the week. Download a walking app, get good music on your phone, and try it for just a week to see if you enjoy it. Or, I want to stop drinking my calories and find alternatives that I enjoy. Forget all the 8 cup a day of plain water if you don't enjoy drinking water. Maybe sparkling water can replace soda. Maybe diet soda. Is it the best? Probably not, but for now, close enough is good enough. You don't have to be miserable. It doesn't have to be horrible and hard. It can be enjoyable. It won't be fast, but it will be lasting. Each new little decision will bring you closer to the life you want and deserve to have. And now I'll get off my soapbox, take my cane, and tell you kids to get off my lawn. Routine is everything. Every time I fall off, it's due to my routine changing, whether it's moving, new job, coming back from the vacation, holidays, etc. Once I get in my habits, it's honestly not that hard. Oh wow, your comment woke me up. I've been feeling down and insecure the past few months because I gained back all the weight I've lost the past year, along with all the eating and exercise and habits I was able to develop. I just started a new challenging job. No wonder. Yes, don't be too hard on yourself. It's part of life. Our schedules and priorities will change and shift many times. I try to give myself grace and a bit of time to settle into changes and to reset my goals. I recently started a new job too and was off my workout routine for a while. I realized I just couldn't keep the same routine. I had to adapt it to my new schedule. I had to get more serious about meal prepping too, which wasn't necessary for me before. It took time, but now I'm feeling good again. You got this. Writing goals down really helps me, even small ones. This has been proven time and time again in science. The only way to affect real change in your life is to make it habitual rather than compulsory. I highly recommend reading or listening to Atomic Habits by James Clear for an actionable game plan and roadmap on how to change your life through good habits. I'm not kidding when I say this is the most impactful book I've ever read in my life. Something I learned in the last few years that has been so useful to me: action mostly needs to come before motivation. It's that mental trick where if you just tell yourself, I'll do that thing I need to do, but that I've been putting off, I'll just do it for 5 minutes, and then if I want to stop, I'll stop. Pretty much every time, you'll just keep going and get the thing done. Our brains are wired in such a funny way that motivation and even inspiration just kicks in when we undertake a necessary but unpleasant task. This motivation is only temporary. At the end of the day, it's discipline and habits that get you where you want to be. And it doesn't only apply for weight loss, it applies to most long-term goals. There are some days where I really don't care to get into the gym. I'm just tired after a long day of work and would really rather just relax. It's just not an option though. Just like I force myself to wake up and prepare to work every day, and I go through with doing my job every day, I have to complete a gym session every day I'm scheduled to. I don't miss a single day if I can help it. Willpower has nothing to do with it. In my mind, it is just necessary, something I have to do for myself, much like a personal hygiene, much like work, much like getting a full 8 hours of sleep. It's just something I gotta do. There are some days where I'm hyper motivated, ready to roll, so energetic I could leap bounds all day. There are some days where I'm not motivated at all, really dragging my feet. It doesn't matter though, I'm going whether I feel like it or not. I've been trying to eat the same calorie amounts at the same meal times every day. I think it's helping. For me, some simple game changers have absolutely been eating lots more protein and a moderate amount of healthy fats. Also, I try to exercise in some way for at least 20 minutes a day, ideally 45 minutes or more. Exercise can be as easy as taking a nice afternoon walk to look at the changing leaves and enjoy the autumn weather. Motivation is a convenient excuse, but it's not even a real thing. It's a combination of excitement and a temporary grasp of willpower. Once those or both go, the whole thing is out the window. But it's so easy to lean on and say, I'm just not feeling very motivated today, when what we really lack is the willpower to power through not wanting to do it. For me, it was getting the motivation to formulate the new routines I wanted to follow. I was at a point where every time I started to think about changing, I would basically shut down, say it's too hard, and that it's not worth doing because I'll never succeed. Obviously, there was a bit of depression and self-loathing mixed in there that was keeping me in that state, but getting the short-lived motivation from people around me is what gave me the energy to figure out the routines, and I've been able to stick to those even after the initial motivation has fallen off. Agreed. It should become as habitual and boring as brushing your teeth. You do it every day and you forget about it, but after years of doing it, you have healthy teeth. I'm probably just regurgitating everyone else's advice at this point, but no single workout or healthy snack is going to make a difference, no matter how hard you try. It's the sum of all the days of working out and eating healthy over a long period of time that will make the change. That's why your goals have to be small and something you can ideally do every day. It's also why I don't try so extremely hard on any of my workouts anymore, and I don't over-restrict myself with food. I eat this many calories a day and I work out for 30 minutes a day. That's it. Am I losing weight more slowly? Yes. Is it sustainable? Also yes. Works for me, at least. I've also found that habits and routine are what keep me going, as motivation eventually wears out. For myself, the main habits that help me most are having an 8-hour eating window, drinking plenty of water, I don't really drink anything else, and avoiding refined sugar, candy, baked goods, etc. As long as I stick to these, my weight doesn't get too far off track, even when I'm not doing the other things I'm more likely to do when in the motivation phases, like eating lots of protein, exercising, etc. Of course, those foundation habits took many years of trial and error, backsliding, etc. to figure out, and I still fall off the wagon sometimes. But finding the energy to climb back on when it's just those is much easier than trying to do a full blast diet and exercise program out of nowhere. I just got back on again this past month after being off for the better part of a year, so thanks for this post. Perfect timing. I agree. I've done a few orbits myself. The thing that really helps me when I start up a new workout routine is something I heard a while back, whether this has any scientific merit or not. It takes 3 weeks to make a habit. Motivation wanes, but routine and good habits tend to last a little longer. I believe it's really about 5 weeks to form a habit though, so when I'm starting out, I just tell myself that whatever I'm doing, I just have to commit to make myself do it every time during the first 5 weeks. It's going to be hard during that time, but I know that as long as I commit to that after 5 weeks, it's just something I do. That's taken me so far. It's discipline and patience that people seem to lack. This is true for everything. Want a higher promotion and salary, but don't want to do the hard work. Want cool stuff, but don't want to save. Credit card debt is clearly the answer. Want to be slim with muscles and a six-pack, but don't want to spend time exercising. People are a fundamental combination of greedy and lazy, which is a good way to end up with nothing but dissatisfaction. If you want something, you need to be prepared to put in the effort. I know I sound like it, but I'm not a boomer, honest. You do sound like a boomer, but I wouldn't say humans are a fundamental combo of greedy and lazy. We literally evolved to spend the least amount of energy to get the most amount of resources. I don't really know any lazy people. I know they exist, but what makes someone lazy? I think it depends on your definition. In the 1970s, a scientist, Strum, studied baboons on a ranch. The baboons were near farmers and they started raiding the farms. They got lazy by getting as much food as they could by raiding food-dense farms, despite the larger risk of being killed by a farmer. Then they sat around most of the day. I say this all in case someone else can see that they aren't lazy, they're human. And when you realize that you evolved to secure the most resources with the least energy, maybe it will help to see that it is going to be a long process. You don't have to say, geez Todd, you're so greedy and lazy, go for a walk and throw out the donuts. Because you can't hate yourself into good habits. Maybe saying to yourself, alright Todd, I realize we have secured the resources for the day and my lizard brain wants to eat sugar and scroll Reddit. However, I am also in control of my lizard brain that sends out all the signals in the world but can't control your physical movements. And I'm choosing to put my lizardy desires aside to prove to myself that I am worth feeling healthy. Kinda a tangent, but I just don't think crap talking yourself is a healthy way to achieve goals. I think we all deserve to lovingly put our foot down with ourselves and get done what we truly want. Things that bring us fulfillment in the moment, as well as satisfaction long term. And that brings us to the end of the video, Narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please tap subscribe to join our awesome community, the Narwhals, and for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And here's our featured Narwhal of the day. Progress pics 90 pounds down.